What's up? What's up? This is episode 1 of the What Were You Expecting podcast. Technically, it's 2, but we suck.
Yeah, we're gonna call it 1.
We sucked.
After
So we had some issues with our board and just some growing pains, I guess you would call it. So we got a new board coming. It's supposed to be here this week sometime. So even if this one sucks, bear with us. The rest of them won't be. How's your week?
Good.
Good?
Good.
Good.
Had a good week. Should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, I guess we probably should.
Yeah, since this is number 1. So the problem is
anybody that's watching this right now knows that it was coming, though. They knew us.
Yeah. The problem is we filmed an episode and we introduced ourselves, went through that whole first episode thing, and then we realized the quality wasn't great, so I guess we should do it again. My name's Blake.
I'm Nate. We kind of started this podcast on just kind of a whim. Conversations that me and you have, just 3-hour-long conversations that just never seem to end, but you never really wanted them to end, kind of thing. So we were like, what are we gonna do?
Start a podcast.
See
what happens.
Yeah, and then everybody that we've told so far is like, well, what's it about? We don't know. Everything. What I mean, that's kind of the name that we're going for. Is what were you expecting, right? We're gonna start it off with not having any type of game plan. We don't want anything to be scripted. We don't want anything to be planned. We don't want anything to be manufactured. So it's just you're getting us raw and
very few boundaries.
Yeah, whatever happens. So,
you want to introduce Johnny?
Oh yeah, Johnny. Well, Johnny's not mic'd right now, but Johnny is our producer. He will be mic'd coming forward. Like I said, we're getting some new equipment. But Johnny, we wouldn't be here without Johnny. Like we said last time, unfortunately, no one I got to hear it, but it was very, very accurate. We would be probably still having conversation, but there would be no one else hearing it because we have no idea what we're doing. Right. So, but yeah, you're coming off of COVID.
Well, let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
Welcome to the What Were You Expecting podcast, where nothing is scripted, nothing is rehearsed, and we talk about anything and everything. Nothing is off topic here, and we are honored to have you be a part of our conversation. If you like what you hear, please like and subscribe, and remember to enjoy the show.
Yeah, kind of like our first episode. Was hit with COVID.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just got over COVID and it was not fun. It was the worst sickness I've ever had in my life.
Really?
By far.
Man, I feel like we should be wearing masks so that our listeners don't get COVID.
Yeah. Well, most of our listeners should be vaccinated, so we should be good.
Oh yeah.
But no, yeah, it was not fun. And to be honest with you, I've been like, I don't want to say anti-vaccine. I've had vaccines, but I've been so against this vaccine just strictly based on how quickly it rolled out.
Right.
Not that I don't want it to work, or I would love for them to say, hey, this works, it's perfect, you're not going to be hurt. And we all knew it. Great, But
right.
So I've been kind of hesitant, but now that I've had COVID and I had it as bad as I did, it really has made me do some research and rethink it,
Right. Right.
Still don't think, I don't want to say, I'm going to go get it, but I'm going to pay attention to my antibodies and
right.
And
kind of gives you a wake up call on.
Yeah. I'm gonna get those checked every.
It's not as black
cycle.
And white as you think it would be.
Right. So, and who knows? They're gonna work on improving this vaccine, and I'm sure it'll get better. But COVID was not fun, and
you said that your sense of smell still has not come back.
So my smell and taste completely gone.
How long ago did you have it? When did you lose your smell?
Okay, so it was weird, and when I noticed, I got in the shower and I was shampooing my hair, and I just rubbing the soap across my face, and I went, "Oh my God, I didn't smell it," and I'm like yelling from there. I'm like, "Lex, I can't smell anything." But yeah, so my smell went on like day 4 of being sick, and then like day 6, my taste was completely gone.
That's got to be the worst part.
Horrible,
right there.
Horrible. Because when you eat, you're just chewing texture. Think about it, with no flavor. And it's not like dumbed down flavor, it's no flavor. So it's nothing. You're chewing a piece of bubble gum that has no flavor. So it's just so meat, anything, right? Nothing tastes. So yeah, that wasn't fun. And that lasted for about a week after.
I feel like that would make grocery shopping go really well.
Yeah,
If that was a permanent thing,
Yeah,
you just wouldn't have to care anymore.
yeah. I
Eating
dropped.
healthy wouldn't be a problem at all
I
anymore.
dropped like 13 pounds. Probably one just being sick and dehydrated.
And
but
you were quarantined for what? Like it was like two and a half weeks.
16 days.
16 days.
Yeah, because we even after we started feeling better, we took tests because I didn't want to go back to work and take it. So we were feeling better for like 4 days, and then we took a COVID test, and we still tested positive. So it was like, so we waited another 4 days, and then boom, we were negative. But
Wow.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was not fun, and being trapped in the house for that long,
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was going crazy.
I
was
could
going
only
crazy.
imagine.
But yeah, so I still don't have my smell back. Taste has come back, but yeah, it wasn't fun. I don't
Yeah,
want it ever
that does
again.
not sound fun.
So like I said, if once I get my antibodies tested, if I don't have them, or if they're, I'm gonna reconsider getting the vaccine.
And see, that's one of the biggest things. Like when I hear people talk about their experiences with COVID, I've been told by tests and by doctors that I had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but my experiences were nothing close to that.
Yeah.
And so that makes me question,
Did you really have it?
did I really have
Yeah.
it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, I'm not this conspiracy theorist guy, which, I am on certain levels, but I'm not this over the top, anything that's against what the government is currently doing, I believe,
Right.
no, I listen to a very calculated argument and I make my own assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
And for the longest time, I didn't think COVID was even a thing. I honestly thought that it was the flu.
In the very beginning, I did.
I thought it was the flu. I thought it was something that maybe
Well, let
a
me tell
different
you.
strand,
It's real.
but I thought it was the flu. And so now, like I said, I hear testimonies like yours, and I'm like, okay, so clearly it's not the flu, and clearly I did not have it. So why was I being told that I did?
Yeah.
And so I'm not gonna dive into that so far, but at the same time, like it really makes me question
Well, and I think
the legitimacy
Yeah.
of some of the things that are happening.
I think it just hits people differently because me and Lex both had, and Lex is my girlfriend for y'all that don't know, but we both had COVID at the same time with different symptoms. So it was like she had a really rough cough. I had almost no cough. She had a fever. I didn't run a fever. Well, I say I didn't run a fever. I didn't really take my temperature because I never felt like I was running a fever, but I had the night sweats, body ache, my lower back hurt. I'm talking my skin, just my shirt touching my skin. I was like, oh, it was the worst I've ever been sick.
Man.
And I've been sick. Don't get me wrong. I've
Yeah.
had strep throat. I've had food poisoning. Nothing as bad as that. So
Yeah, that's awful.
it wasn't fun. But you know where I think I got it? If we want to move into another topic, I think I got it on the fishing trip.
Really?
Yeah, because I came back on, what day was that? It was
Thursday, right?
I came back on.
No,
Wednesday.
we left on a Wednesday, so
Yeah.
you left on a Tuesday.
So yeah, I left Tuesday. So that Saturday I was sick. That Saturday night. So I could have got. Well, we were thinking like none of them got sick. So what did I do differently?
You weren't on the boat.
I went to Taco Bell without you guys, and I went to Taco Bell one night
Yeah.
without you guys, and then boom.
So we planned a
'Cause we went
big,
everywhere
massive
together.
fishing trip,
Except for the fish.
and I invited everybody that works for me and our partners and everything like that. So I own my own business. We're entrepreneurs. He owns his own business and an insurance agency. I own my own plumbing agency, I guess plumbing company. And so I started this big trip, brought one of my partners down who runs all our insurance stuff. And he decided, look, that's a long trip because we did an 18-hour trip. And he's like, look, if I get seasick, I'm not trying to be on that boat for 18 hours. And I was like, no, totally understand that. So he's the only one that doesn't go on the boat. It cost you 16 days.
18 hours.
16 days.
Yeah, and it also, I think it was karma for my drive back to
Oh, yeah. You want to tell them how?
11 hour car
So
ride.
we
from
went to Panama City, and where we are, it's about 5.5 hour ride.
Yeah.
So I get a phone call from him about 5.5 hours after he left, thinking that it's going to be, hey man, all's good.
Nope.
And then
Had 5 more hours to go. So I left Panama City, put in my address on the GPS, and about 30 minutes down the road, I come into dead stop traffic. And so I was like, and I'd been sitting there for like 15 minutes, and I was like, okay, I got to find a new route. So I got on Waze, started trying to find a new route, couldn't find one. I was like, whatever, I'm just going to wait it out. Went to my recents, went to click my address, and for whatever reason, I just wasn't paying attention, and I clicked a completely different address than my address. And I had went to the beach. I guess it was in my recents. I went to my girlfriend's parents' condo in New Smyrna Beach, which is on the opposite side of Florida from Panama City. And so when I hit my recents, it was right under my home address, and there we went. So then I put on Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, and then you just get lost in that.
Drove for 4 hours, and then your next exit is north to Savannah or south to Daytona. And I was like,
that's not right.
yeah, neither one of those are near my house after driving that far. So I pulled over, and I was like, there's something wrong with the GPS. I messed with it, and I was like, it pops up 5 hours. And I was like, and I just drove for like 5 hours. So
Yeah, you got home at what, 11?
that's probably what caused me to get COVID, because then I stopped at McDonald's on the way home, and bingo, there's the COVID.
Yeah, probably so.
All because I wanted to save from the traffic, but yeah.
Man, that's
Yeah.
you've had the worst
Yeah.
3 to 4 weeks.
Dude, it's
of
been
anybody
horrible.
that I
So
know.
we had COVID, the whole driving back from Panama debacle. My
Debacle
dog,
is such a way to put that.
and we won't go into all these stories, but my dog almost died because of the vet.
Yep.
What else has happened? Oh, I sliced my wrist open with a pressure washer. Yeah, we'll tell that story.
How did you do that with a pressure washer?
So I was spraying off I was washing cars. I was spraying off car mats. The soap was all over them, like the WeatherTech. And I was picking them up and hitting the bottoms of them. And Lex has a really long one in the back seat of her car, so I picked it up. And when I hit with the thing,
Oh, you pressure washed your hand.
it pulled the mat it kind of caught it and pulled my wrist right across the tip of the right point blank of the pressure washer. So yeah, it got me pretty good. But it was it wasn't like it sliced it to where I would need stitches. It literally just dug it out.
Yeah, it's ugly. Can you put it away?
Yeah, but no, yeah. So it's been a crazy few weeks, but
Yeah.
hopefully over it.
Man, that's crazy.
So,
Yeah, I've had a crazy couple weeks myself, just with trips and things like that. Nothing necessarily bad luck, just constant state of go. We had the Panama trip, and then immediately came home, and we just diving back into work. And my job, I won't go into details on all of that because that's just going to bore everybody to death. But it went from just coasting to needing my attention every 3 seconds. And so that's been super stressful and super rewarding and frustrating and exhilarating and just a roller coaster of things. And then the sheer frustration of wanting to do this podcast and something blocking it every single time,
Every week.
And it even started a joke where we were messing with each other oh yeah we're good for tomorrow, and then one of us would be like, oh no just I got bad news. I will stab you. I will absolutely stab you. But it's nice to be back to do it. We've got a trip coming up this weekend. I do. Going down to South Georgia, going to meet with my brothers and my sister, and we're gonna go do the dirt track thing. Like I said on the last podcast, I'm gonna dive into it deeper and deeper as we go along. But I have a very large testimony that's gonna be coming out in the book.
Yeah, we're gonna save that. We're gonna save that for a whole episode.
Yeah, we're gonna wait until my book's coming out to do that.
Yeah.
But basically, there's a very special individual in my life that I didn't know was a part of my life until a certain aspect.
Don't spill it.
And we're gonna have an opportunity to honor that person this weekend. It's also my little brother's birthday this weekend, so that's gonna be super fun. Hopefully he, I'm gonna try to surprise him. This obviously won't come out before that time, so I'm gonna try to surprise him. He doesn't know I'm coming, so it's gonna be cool. And then that very next week we're going back to Panama, and this one's gonna be family trip.
Okay.
So
Fishing trip again?
No, not this time. I wanted to.
Oh yeah, you're taking the kiddos.
Yeah, I was gonna take the kiddos, but I think it's gonna be smarter for us to just make it all about family.
Yeah.
That I've been on the go for so much. It's time to
Do the family thing.
It's time to do the right thing and make sure that they're taken care of. So that's gonna be here, and then right after that, we're gonna start diving right back into work, and that's gonna be our busiest time of the year. It appears. So we have probably 4 or 5 jobs breaking loose all right as soon as we get back. So that's going to be heavy. But we've got deer season which I'm super excited about. That's supposed to hit this weekend. I'm going to miss that opening day, but I'm just ready for the crunch of a leaf, and the crisp of the air, man. I'm so tired of that humidity.
PETA.
Oh, we're going to go PETA?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, PETA.
Hey,
I'm right here.
what I think hunting should be, you should have to jump out of the tree stand with a knife and kill the deer and fight it like
How dare you assume that I have not
on
done
its
that?
own territory.
How dare you assume
He's
I
got
haven't?
horns, you got knife. No gun
He
involved.
had horns. I had not. No, I'm telling you, I would never want
I have
to
not run-
rumble with a deer.
No.
I don't know if you've ever seen two bucks brawl.
Yeah.
It has nothing on two does
Oh, they're
brawling.
getting choked out.
Two does will box slap.
I'm getting on his back.
They straight up will just.
I'm getting on his back.
Like
and
a kangaroo.
Rear naked choking the deer. I'm not fighting.
That's.
He's going to sleep.
You're gonna fight it.
He's going to sleep.
If you jump on that deer, he's gonna fight
And I'm
you.
going to hold on until he passes out. And then he gets the knife.
He instantly gets the knife and you're walking.
No, I have not been hunting since I was probably, well, I say hunting, deer hunting, since I was probably 10 or 11 years old. Not that I'm against it. I think it's great, but
Yeah, it's one of my favorite activities because there's just so much chaos in the year, and then you get to get out there in nature,
quiet.
and everything's quiet, and there's times where, it's a lot of people like demonize it. They kind of think,
Right,
oh,
yeah.
you're just a killer that's just waiting on your prey, and it's like, no, not really. I mean, because there's things that I let walk. And there's times that even when I wanted that deer for food, for my family, I was afraid I was going to hurt it. I was going to wound it. And then it was going to suffer, or it was going to survive and have a handicap.
yeah.
And so I didn't take the shot. And so that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
That's being out in nature. That's being
respectful and just.
well, just knowing your presence, knowing that you're sitting in a situation in the quiet, being able to talk to God and watch His creatures, and kind of de-stress from all the craziness of your life for just a couple of hours, and being able to have the wherewithal to look at that animal and go, you know what, I really could use that meat for my family, but I also respect that animal enough to not miss my target and then it suffer.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to it that most people like, PETA wouldn't want to listen to.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like a fish. Like if Ben Milliken ever runs across this podcast, I want you on my podcast. You're like one of my favorite people. However, stop throwing fish.
Does he do it?
Yeah,
What?
he'll hold his fish and and he does it innocently. But, he'll rip a lip, bring it out, and he's like, and he just
Flings it.
kind of tosses it. And I'm like, dude,
Set it back in the water.
how would you feel if somebody just like ripped you out of your home
Ripped
and
your
then
lip.
threw you back into it?
Ripped your lip, then put it back in. Yeah.
Also, surface tension.
Yeah.
That is a hard hit.
Especially for a fish.
So, Ben Milliken, you're still my favorite fisherman of all time. I want you on this podcast. However, stop throwing fish.
Yeah, I haven't been fishing in a long time either. It's been a little while.
That's a travesty.
I know.
It's a burning passion of mine. So
Haven't been in a long time.
I can't believe that you.
No free time.
Yeah, well, you had an opportunity, and instead you decided
18
to.
hours on a fishing boat.
11-hour ride home, 16 days of quarantine.
Anyways, all right, Johnny, what's new, man?
Johnny doesn't have a
Johnny?
mic.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I
you
forgot.
probably pick me up a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
we're
Mike could, yeah.
Yeah.
We good. So wait, Johnny, you got a new job, right?
Yeah,
New full-time job.
New full-time job, talked about it on our first test run of the podcast, but I'm working ministry. I'm with music. I do anything they need me to do. Media, go pick up bread to give to homeless, whatever they need. I'm just there to fill a need and heal a hurt as much as I can. So it's great that I'm finally be able to do that full-time. I'd be able to focus 100% on that, and then be able to spend some extra time on this. This is what we're doing here. And so it couldn't have come at a more perfect time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, and
Congrats.
I'm so blessed. Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a huge relief, and
You couldn't be working for a better individual
exactly
either. Individuals.
yeah. And so
So-
I'm helping the school out. The school can
Yeah.
use some extra help too. So like I said, wherever they need me is
Yeah.
where I'm at. So I'm
That's awesome.
excited.
And no more drives to Atlanta, right?
Yes, oh my gosh, man. Atlanta traffic, you get used to it. But man, I was spending at least a quarter.
Learn how
half
to
a
drive.
Tank, half tank of gas
You know who you are.
every day.
Yeah.
Because, it's got a little Nissan Altima, but it's a V6. Not the best on gas, but it's
Right.
not terrible, but, it all adds up. And, yeah, I don't have to worry about going to those job sites anymore in Atlanta, fighting traffic,
That's awesome.
struggling with trying to understand Spanish and them having to laugh at me with my trying to speak Spanish to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta Google Translate.
Yeah.
Just
And
read
those,
it.
and those aren't always.
I don't know how to read this. Can you read this?
Doesn't translate the greatest thing. They're they'll still kind of look at you funny, and
Yeah.
they'll say something there, and it's just gibberish in English, and it's and just kind of point it out, draw a picture, and then we end up figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
and
days are
that's
done.
the thing about Google Translate, man. It's like people don't realize that that's such a formal way of doing it,
Yeah.
right? And we have so many slang things like
So
y'all
do they.
and things like that. So do they.
We
And so
talk-
when they speak into that thing, Google's like, what? And it's like, I speak hillbilly. And it's like, what? And it just,
Yeah, speak hillbilly. Yeah.
it just doesn't understand.
It's funny you brought that up. We talked about that this weekend while I was in Tennessee. So I actually went up to Tennessee this weekend to visit family. And so my uncle, who is born and raised in the mountains of Tennessee, so hillbilly. And I can say that because that's where I'm from. Well, my family is from, so that's my bloodline. But anyways, so he's actually getting married to a woman from the Philippines. And she speaks a little bit of English, but very minimal. And we found out why. So he's like, yeah, she can communicate, because we were thinking like, can she speak English so we can, because we can't speak what they speak. So we were like, man, it's gonna be tough to like get to know her and talk to her. He's like, oh no, she can communicate. Well, they've been communicating by phone because she was in the Philippines. So she was using a translator.
oh my gosh, so he didn't even know that.
No, he was thinking. I guess he thought she could speak really good. But no, and he did say, he was like, she just doesn't talk much. Even whenever when they are alone, she just doesn't speak a lot. But
Yeah.
she was super nice, and obviously her English is gonna get way better now that she lives here. So, but yeah, it was. We were expecting to be able to just chat it up, and it was more of very broken,
Yeah.
broken communication. But she was super nice, and obviously happy to be here in the greatest country on the planet.
That's right.
That's right.
But yeah,
Well, used to
it used to be.
Used
It
to
still is.
It still
It's
is. We just got some doofuses sitting up
we
at
got
the
some things to
top of
work
the
out.
ladder. Yeah, we won't even go down that road. But yeah, so
I'm so down to go down that road.
no, not today.
Maybe on the
not
first
today.
episode, let's-
Not today. Yeah.
I have so much of a spirit
yeah.
about it.
I do too, man.
I'm so ready.
Oh, I have a burning flame in my soul about that, but
We don't have to go down that road here,
Yeah.
but if we want to go
I think
down that road,
I think
we can go down
Yeah.
that road.
I think we should just have like segments of that whole topic, and we'll just pick the people.
Yeah.
As in, we're going to talk about this person today. Then we're going to move on to, I'm not going to say any names, but I will say we're going to move on to the Speaker of the House. And we're going to talk about her. But no,
We're going to
yeah.
talk about a specific old guy for the next 5 episodes because there's plenty of content.
But no, and this is the thing. I hope, and I'm going to say this now, and if down the road, if this thing becomes something, hopefully people will go back and watch this first episode.
Right.
Anything I ever say is never meant to offend anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even when I don't agree with you, or I truly don't like it, I'm still not saying things that offend anybody. So I just want to preference that. But I am going to tell you what I truly think.
Yeah.
And I would hope that you would do the same, regardless if I agree with it or not.
Yeah, I mean these are our thoughts. They're not they're not pointed at any direction, any way, shape, or form, unless they're specifically towards a person that we specifically have a problem with.
Yeah.
And I, like you said, I'm not afraid to have that person. Obviously I'm not going to have Joe Biden on the podcast.
I would.
But
We could just
we
sleep.
couldn't. We couldn't.
We could just sleep.
He couldn't cognitively be here. But if if there was if there was a specific person that I had a problem with, I would want to sit across the table from him and I want to work it out.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of like what we've talked about with starting this podcast was because you can't grow, you can't learn, you can't do anything unless you're open to being wrong. And I'm going to feel the way that I feel. I'm going to defend the way that I feel, and I'm not going to be ashamed of how I feel. However, I am always open for someone to explain to me how I'm wrong.
I want
Because if I am, I want to be right.
I want my opinion to be changed. As crazy as that sounds, just because I feel like when you're so dead set on something and someone can truly enlighten you, I guess is a good word, you're like, oh my gosh.
I never thought of it that way.
And there's several topics that's happened to me.
Sure,
in
you
the
think
past.
about all the things that we
From
used to think about when we were teenagers.
Yeah, exactly. We started that. Yeah.
Everything that you think about, like when we were teenagers, how we just thought we were bulletproof and we knew everything. And then as you grow and you get older, you start to realize, like, what a fool.
Yeah.
What a fool. And so
I welcome anyone to change my opinion on on our current
and,
state.
and it's all good. Like, we're not going to get offended. We would hope that you don't get offended. But if you do get offended, please don't blast us in the comments. Just don't follow.
Yeah.
Just don't follow.
Or who knows, just hang tight, watch, and maybe you'll learn that we're not just our opinions. That's the biggest thing. Is I think we've become this way as a people, I guess, is we take someone's opinion and that's all we see them as, you know.
Right.
And that's just not the.
There's so many more layers to a person.
Yes,
than that.
there's things me and you, I would like to say we believe pretty much
Pretty close.
very close on a lot of
Very
on
close.
probably 95% of things, but I'm sure there's something that we probably differ on, and that's just life.
Right.
That's just different people grow up different ways, which we grew up very similar, but people grow up different ways, and they're just gonna have different beliefs on different things. It's just. But hey, that's a good time to introduce the name of the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Because we went to topics.
Yeah. What were you expecting?
Yeah, that's what.
Speaking of what were you expecting, I am going to turn the tables real quick. Congratulations to all of the Georgia players, coaches, and fans. I'm not the kind of fan that is going to take something and just make excuses. But we lost. I'm a huge Clemson Tigers fan, but I do want to point something out. We did not give up an offensive touchdown.
And I'll say this.
Neither did they, but neither did us.
I'll say this.
Neither did we.
I don't have a dog in the fight for either team, but talk about two insanely killer defenses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Insane. But
Insane.
I still don't think that we're ready for Bama.
No.
I watched the game.
I'm going to go ahead and preference this, too, with Bama's going to beat everybody. And I hate to say that because I do not care for Alabama, but they're going to beat everybody. They're that good. And to be honest with you, their quarterback, he looks, out of the last two they had, he looks better than both of them.
If you want to talk about quarterbacks that look good, though, let's talk about your Vols, okay? You have like a 6'12", freaking 280-pound quarterback that would make Ben Roethlisberger say, yes, sir.
Yeah, I like.
Are you kidding me?
So Joe Milton, I do like him.
This guy is a monster.
I do like him, and the thing about what I like the most about Tennessee this first game of the season is I'm a Tennessee fan. Is they played with tempo, they played fast, they played with energy.
They looked complete.
They looked solid, but we were playing Bowling Green.
Yeah.
So let us have this weekend will be a lot better tell against, and I hate even saying Pitt.
Pitt.
And I hate saying that.
Hey, Pitt knocked us off. The year we won the national championship, we lost one game.
I think we're
going to
see a lot of improvement, even in a week from what we saw on
Sure.
last Saturday.
Sure.
But our offensive line looked good, which, like I said, against better competition. But our line looked good. He had plenty of time to get rid of the ball. Our run game looked great. Our defense played well. They put up 2 field goals. They didn't score. But yeah, we'll see. I really like our new coach.
I do think that they could be a sleeper team in the SEC this year. I think that they're going to get some teams.
I could see us upsetting
weren't expecting.
I could see us upsetting one team this year that we were expected to beat.
And I'll say this: I mean, everybody besides Clemson and Georgia and Bama, most of the teams that were either slated to suck or were slated to be incredible did not perform that way. A lot of the teams that were slated to be terrible really did good. I mean, they did a great job. And then a lot of these teams Oklahoma almost lost number 2
Tulane.
to Tulane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I get it. At any given Saturday, I'm good with that. I understand. We've lost some big games too, and and they didn't even lose. I get that. But wow.
Yeah.
You know what? What I did find interesting about that was I watched the very end of the game, and if I was a Tulane fan, I would be throwing things at the TV because the only thing that those announcers could say was how bad Oklahoma played. And there was never anybody. And I remember this as a Clemson fan when I'm back in the day when we were winning 6 games, we were just excited to go to a bowl game. Mm-hmm. I used to get so frustrated when we would have a really good game. We'd show up, show out, and we'd shut somebody down and really do good. And they would talk about how bad the other team was and never talk about how good we are. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's so interesting.
Well, you know, I'm a Tennessee
to be
fan.
In that position.
There's no announcer that speaks good of Tennessee. So
anymore,
every game I watch, it's just like, are you like paid to just talk bad about us? Like, I get it, okay, I get it, but we have 6 national championships.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and say whatever you want. Oh, it was in the 1950. It doesn't matter.
It's a legacy.
It's a national championship.
That's a legacy.
So. But yeah, no, I'm a diehard Tennessee fan, and I will be till the day I die, regardless of what goes on. Unless they do something crazy, like unless the school just does something gnarly, I'm gonna be a Tennessee fan forever. So, and I live in Georgia, so yay.
Did you happen to hear in the Tennessee game Jordan Rodgers take a shot at his own university? Mm-mm. I was like, are you kidding me? So he was a quarterback for Vanderbilt, and so it was like the very beginning of the game. And they get a nasty sack on Tennessee. Mm-hmm. It was a real lucky sack, but it was just a rookie, didn't see him coming kind of thing. Right. And they take him down, and the first thing that he says was like, oh, perfect. Like, that's what you want in the beginning of one of these games. You want your quarterback to kind of get hit, don't get hurt, get popped one good time, wake him up, get him ready to go, know what's coming next time, get the ball out quicker. That's what you want. And so the other announcer was kind of like, really? Like, you would want to get hit in the very beginning of the game. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I used to love it. He's like, it got my adrenaline up, and I was ready for the game. He's like, did that happen a lot to you? And he was like, did you remember where I played? And I was like, oh my gosh. And then he goes, the linemen's are sticks out there. And I was like, they're going to ream you for that. That was national television. That was not like a water cooler conversation. You just ripped your entire university. Yeah. And he was like, I would get sacked at least 5 times in the first quarter every game. And I was like, just ripping them. I was like, man, that's rough.
I'm just grateful college football's back. There's fans in the stands.
Yeah.
And the kids are getting played because last year, that really wrecked a lot of people's future.
Did.
And I know that's one season can throw off everything for college athletes just trying to get their education. Some kids were supposed to leave and go to the NFL, and they're like, well, what am I supposed to do? You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm definitely excited. College football's back.
Yeah, I'm excited too for just everything to kind of start working its way back in. You know, I hate that they're forcing vaccinations to do a lot of these things, and not simply because I disagree with the vaccination. I just think that we need things like concerts. We need things movie theaters. We need these things to get back to normal. Mm-hmm. And if you keep making them not normal, then they're not helping us recover. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I hate that. But there are there are people that are starting to tour again. Music's starting to come back.
I don't think there's not going to be any more shutdowns or anything. There's no way. I think everybody's over it. Yeah. Businesses are over it.
I think if they try, I think everybody would be like, no.
I think most businesses are just like, come shut us down.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to do it?
You know what's happening in Australia right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And if anything, it's teaching us.
Yeah.
Are you in reference to what is happening to the people or what the people are doing back?
Both. So, So,
in case you couldn't hear him, he was saying, do you reference or do you know what's going on in Australia?
Yeah, what I had seen, I see a couple guys on YouTube, different videos, interviewing different people in Australia. Like, hey, so this is what we're hearing. What's actually going on from your perspective? And they're like, for the most part, government seems to have been on our side. Like, we've been pretty much, eye to eye with everything. But, with COVID last year, we weren't really sure what to expect, so we still trusted them. But now they're making these camps. Now these shutdowns get even harsher.
Yeah.
You can't go within kilometers. They say
Taking
kilometers.
people's kids.
Yeah, taking people's kids.
They will arrest
Separate
you
them.
if you go out.
And so they've had it. They're like, no, there's literally people dressed as Braveheart riding a horse, going through the streets. Like, no, we want our freedom back, and we're ready to fight for it.
I would be interested to hear a Chris Hemsworth opinion on that. Like, is it as bad with his viewpoints as it is a lot of our celebrity inputs? You know what I mean? Like, I've seen interviews with him. He seems to me like he's been a very like on the fence kind of style of person. He owns guns but understands that there needed to be control of them type of thing. Like kind of similar to me. Like I believe in gun control, just not any more than we already have because I think we've done a good job. I'd be interested to hear a celebrity from Australia speak on Australia to see a comparison of the celebrity here that talks about here.
Yeah.
Only thing is their careers at jeopardy if they say the wrong thing.
I don't think that I would get it.
I don't know if that would ever really happen.
No, I probably wouldn't.
In certain instances, ours are too. And what's crazy
That's
is
very
I've
true.
seen a lot of people get fired or let go or whatever for something they posted on Facebook or something. And that's what makes me wary being a business owner. I don't want anyone to not do business with me or my employees because of something that I believe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's hard because I'm very neutral on any social platforms. And I think that I can be a little more open in this aspect because
Sure.
I can explain things and people can hear my tone of voice.
Sure.
When you go post something, when you go type something, on
Yeah, it's
Facebook,
just like a text message.
no one
Yep.
knows the context. No one knows how you would verbally say it.
Right.
And with this, I feel way more comfortable in saying, well, I believe this, and this is why.
Right.
And here's my tone of voice. It's not condescending, or it may be condescending.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but
it very
that's
well
why
could be.
I never really elaborate on social media about my beliefs and stuff, just because I don't want to ever hinder a relationship based off, especially off politics. Like,
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hinder any. It's okay if you're on this side and I'm on this side. I still love you because you're my friend on Facebook for whatever reason, right? So, but yeah, I like this platform because we're going to be able to express ourselves a little bit more,
Right.
and not have that fear of someone's going to screenshot this and send it to corporate and
Which-
I'm going to be on the chopping block.
You say that, but
you
they
know?
certainly do. I mean,
Oh,
right?
they
I mean,
do.
the media does it all the time. You know,
do.
I can say, Biden, screwed up everything, but he's my uncle and I love him, type of thing. And they're gonna take Biden screwed up everything, and they'll be like,
And
Nate
cut
Bearden
off-
is a Biden hater.
cut
Da,
off
da,
the
da, da.
uncle.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, it can still happen, but I think my ability to be able to clip it right back
Yeah.
and say,
No. Here you go.
here's the full context,
Right.
is way better, like you were saying, than being able to
Then-
take my words that I typed up
And then have
now
them
I have to
explain 'em.
repeat them
And
in
explain.
a tone that may not have been the same tone I had 2 weeks ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
or having someone else explain it to me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there's that's been happening since there was news. Front page news could get it wrong. Sure, they'll put a retraction, but it's gonna be on page 50.
Right.
Right back. So
Absolutely.
So the thing is, if they control the information, they'll put that out there, and then you can put your thing out there, but they're not gonna advertise that.
Yeah.
Right.
So
The whole monetization thing, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to push the views on
Yeah.
anything that makes them look like they may have made a mistake.
and that's why I try my best on social media, man, to not get into any of that because it's just divisive.
Yeah.
No matter how good of a heart you're trying to put out there, they can't hear that.
Nope.
They just see they just see words. There's no inflection. There's no love in it. There's just
And when you're just typing back and forth, that's not dialogue.
no
That's
No, it's
not,
argument.
and you're not getting anywhere. And that's the thing is like, what is the point of spending your time and energy when it's going nowhere?
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally gone as far as the first comment because you're not getting anywhere.
And that's the thing, is it goes back to what we were talking about, is like no one's open to learning. No one's open to being wrong.
That's what I'm
And
saying. Prove me
so,
wrong.
So how many times have you had an argument with somebody and you just really be real with yourself in this moment? They're sitting there and they're giving you a complete ass joint, right?
It's a hard thing
and,
to do too.
And you immediately are thinking about what you're going to say as soon as this person shuts up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And you
you're
have
not
no
listen-
idea what
you're-
they said.
You're not listening to nothing.
And
they
I
say.
can't tell you how many times I've walked away from something feeling like crap about myself because I'm like, man, I really was being a jerk back there because I got so mad, I got so irritated that I didn't even hear what they said. And then it's too late.
But then you go back. and
now
self-
you're a jerk to
You
them.
can go back and self-reflect, you know. But it's social media is not the place to be talking about any of that stuff.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But it is a weird thing because like we don't want to be censored, right? We want to be able to post whatever. But then you look at like the news and you're like, and I don't care who it is, CNN, Fox, don't care. They all manipulate stuff to what is going to get ratings, and
Sure.
unfortunately, because they're allowed to put out whatever they want to put out, we're getting all this misinformation, and you have to research everything. And even then, when you research it,
The fact checkers have
don't
already
know.
been gotten to,
Yeah.
and now the fact checks are
yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
You know,
it's and as
you just really don't know what to do
and
anymore.
it's weird too because I'm very like, no, I believe in free speech. I believe you should be able to say what you want to say, post whatever you want to post. But then on the same hand, you see stuff like, and this is my own opinion, I don't care what nobody thinks, but like Little Nas X. And the only reason I feel bad about it, but I don't feel bad as far as, okay, I think he should be allowed to post whatever he wants, right? But then in the same token, I go, yeah, but the video's got him and they're naked in the shower dancing
Yes.
around. And I'm like, our youth is watching this and this is what we're growing up.
Yeah.
But on the same hand,
Which,
he's freedom of self-expression. But
and I totally get what you're saying with that, but because I think I've kind of figured
don't
out
know why you-
my stance on that is like you said, it's not necessarily him.
it's not him.
It's just in general. I think Graham Allen talks about this all the time. I'm a huge Graham Allen fan. Of where a lot of people are Joe Rogan, I'm listening to Graham Allen.
I'm joking.
And I love Joe, but I'm
I've
just
never talked to Joe.
but
My
I'm
15-year
locked
self
onto Graham Allen.
going Joe Rogan.
And he's just like, look, children are off limits. Period.
Yeah.
I don't care because here's the thing, right? I have a constitutional right to do anything that I want to do within that boundary of that constitution,
Right.
but not until I'm 18.
Ooh.
Not until I'm 18. I can't vote.
I think our
I
children
can't do
just
anything
are just
until I'm
sacred.
18. I don't have rights until I'm 18. And so therefore your rights shall not infringe upon someone who doesn't have the right to look away.
Right.
You know what I mean? So children are off
But where do
limits.
But where do we draw the line? You know.
And that's the problem is that you have to hold the people accountable
But see, I'm
that are causing it. So here's the thing, like so say you know there's a son that goes out, kills somebody at a convenience store. Do you hold mom accountable?
in some cases they are held accountable at certain ages.
But do you arrest mom?
There's
What if she was
It's kinda like
really
this.
trying to block it? I don't think that Facebook is the one
good
to
example.
blame because it's their platform. They kind of do what they want to do. But
good
I think you
example.
go after the guy who should have known better to put that in front of a kid.
good example is like a 13-year-old goes around the neighborhood, breaks a bunch of mailboxes. His parents have to pay for them. They're legally responsible for that action, right? But
their kid.
And we'll just relay right into this. As much as I believe Lil Nas X should be allowed to post whatever he wants, it's really the parents' responsibility to prevent the children from
It
being
is.
exposed to that.
It is.
So-
and so I guess I missaid that. I didn't mean like a kid goes kills somebody.
Right.
I meant like so a 30-year-old man goes out, should his 60-year-old grandmother or mother be the one that gets in trouble for his actions? No, because he's a grown man.
Yeah.
He made this decision.
Yeah. And see, I think
And
my
I
thing
don't
was,
think Facebook should be attacked
when
for
I'm scrolling-
Little Nas X's actions.
No. Well, when I'm scrolling through Facebook,
I hate it,
when I
but
see that kind of stuff,
fair's fair.
anything remotely like that, I'm scrolling. I'm like, God. In my brain, I instantly go, God, "There's kids on here looking at this," you know, or on TikTok or whatever it is. I'm like, God, kids are seeing this. But then on the same hand, it's like, your kid shouldn't be on TikTok.
No, yeah, you're right. They shouldn't.
You know,
They
so
shouldn't be. But in the
it's-
same time, like you can turn around and you can have that opinion of, Facebook shouldn't be liable. They shouldn't have to take this stuff down. But then they turn around and they take things down that don't deserve to be taken down. And that's my problem. Like
That's the
TikTok,
thing.
I am on TikTok. Everybody, Nate at Nate Bearden, you can go follow me. I literally have this opinion on TikTok and I will say it to them.
Yeah.
They
You can't pick and choose. It's
they
either
will
one or the
take
other.
down something that is about mental health. I've had multiple videos taken down to where I've told people like, look, hey, I've battled with depression. I've dealt with this. I understand you. I'm here for you. Talk to me. They'll take it down. And in the same For You page, there's people that are showing off inappropriate things. I mean, there's young minors dancing inappropriately, and all these things are fine, and you can report it. You can report it because you don't want to see it, and they will deny your report. That's where I have a problem with social media. If you either leave every video up, or you take your entire platform down. Period.
I've reported one video, and it was Michael Rappaport or whatever that dude is. I can't.
Used to love that guy.
I can't.
He was so funny, and now all of a sudden,
I can't stand him.
Same way as Jim Carrey. They both just went super political.
I love Jim Carrey too. But anyways, that dude. I reported the video. They come back. Oh, denied. And I'm like, go watch. Did you watch the same video? And I'm not. I did it honestly to see what they would do.
Yep.
Because I don't care. I'm an adult. If I scroll and see it, whatever, I'll keep moving. But I'm like, I reported it. Whoever reviewed it, me and you didn't watch the same video apparently. Because it definitely violates what your rules are. But yeah, they pick and choose what they want to leave up.
I mean, there was a video. If your kids are listening, turn it off for just a second. But I mean, there was a video that came across my For You page. It was a transvestite that had gotten a breast enlargement and was flaunting it all over the place. And I reported it because I was like, that's nudity. I had one come down for nudity that I had a shirt on. And it came down for nudity. So yeah, I had everything.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Socks.
I don't know. Probably flip flops.
You didn't have a mask on. That's what it was.
That's exactly what it was. But no, so I reported it, and 2 days later it said that TikTok has not taken this down because they felt no issue with it. And I'm like, okay. And if you're a part of the trans community, we're fine. I have no problem. But naked is still naked to you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it doesn't matter what you do in your personal life. Naked is still naked. Nudity is still nudity, and I don't need my child to be sitting next to me while I'm scrolling and that pop up.
I think their biggest argument is, and this is such a hard topic. I think their biggest argument is, oh well, a guy can go outside with his shirt off, but a female can't. The problem is,
but you would still take my wife down.
Well, yeah. But the problem is with
what's
that.
What's the difference?
With that, and I don't want to go down the women and it is what it is, but society, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, or what, has sexualized breast.
Yeah.
Female breast.
Yeah, everybody's got a problem with breastfeeding.
Yeah,
because it's sexualized, and it's like, no, actually, the kid's just eating.
So it's just different than when I have my shirt off or Flex has her shirt off.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it is, and I don't know. I mean,
like I said, you either leave up every video or you just take your platform down because it should be up to us to be able to decide what we want to see and what we don't want to see, right? I mean, if you don't want to take his video down, that's fine. Just remove it off my page.
Yeah.
Let me have a button that says take things like this away.
Well, that's what it's.
You have a For You page that is for you, right? Yeah. So why can't I have a Not For Me page?
Yeah.
You know?
Not For Me page.
It's the Not For Me.
Well, on Instagram they have something like that.
See less of this, yeah.
You know,
it's like a mute, like.
Yeah, and
it's like an option that you can hold down the picture. Like when you're in your For You, you hold it down and you see less of this or.
Yeah. Oh, I did that on.
Is it only for ads or is it for like content creators
too?
Content.
Because you get the. Let me get this here. Because you get the. Those challenges. What was that one challenge? The silhouette challenge. Mm-hmm. It's super innocent starting.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone that's young, like say when my son gets older, like 13, 14, starts changing. Mm-hmm. If he's watching that, it's just an innocent video of like this girl in a robe, hair all tied up, nothing like sexual at all. And it's this old 50s music, so it's like super innocent as can be. And then literally in a second, music changes, turns red, and she's just complete naked
in a doorway.
In a doorway, and you just see the outline of her body.
Right, it's one of those TikTok
nothing to
trends.
Imagination, nothing. Yeah. And it's literally just so disgusting of how quickly they can just change it like that. It goes from innocent to just almost hardcore.
Yeah, it's almost like that's what got you the views was how innocent it was and how dark you could make it.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's crazy.
I did that on Facebook. So like, right after the election happened, I kept seeing it would pop up the White House, or it was like it was like the White House, and then like Joe Biden's page or whatever. I literally blocked it over and over and over.
I can't
because I didn't want to see it.
It doesn't let me
every time. That's what I was getting to.
It doesn't.
Every time I tried
So
to
look for it.
every time I would get back on, I'd see another post, and I'm like, okay, I'm not friends with them. I don't follow them. I've tried to block them, and they keep popping up on my page. That is not okay.
Yeah, my Twitter account literally. I was at one point following Joe Biden and Kamala Harris because I wanted to see this debates that were going on, and then when Trump got kicked from Twitter, I was like, okay, well, this is one-sided now.
Yeah.
I just don't care anymore.
Right.
So I deleted all the political stuff. They still pop up, and they're the first two tweets on every single time, and it's just so and so read this tweet, and that's how they keep it on my page. And I'm like, come on, like I'm not even trying to debate. I'm not trying to like avoid the president or the VP. Like I just wanted to. Just wanted to scroll through, like, Dell Jr. What did Dell Jr. tweet out today? Like, can I get to that?
I don't even have a Twitter.
Come on, man.
I don't even have a Twitter. I'm grateful.
I wanted to get rid of my Twitter, but honest to God, Dell Jr. was the only reason I
I'm
couldn't.
about to delete Instagram, to be honest with you. I think we talked about that last weekend. I looked at I think the last time I posted was like October of 2020.
Yeah.
I don't even use it. So
I
use it. I get on there and do this.
Yep. Such a time waster.
So I think I'm going to delete it. I think I'm going to keep my Facebook just because of business, and then TikTok because I'm kind of addicted, but just view it. But and it's like when you're waiting for something, it's like the perfect time suck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm going to keep Snapchat, Facebook. I'm probably going to get rid of Instagram.
We're gonna have to start putting together our socials for this podcast. So you guys let us know what you want to see, where you want to see us, what your favorite platforms are. Obviously, we can put ourselves everywhere, but we want to focus on what we need to do for you. I've got ideas for merch and things like that. So we want to kind of know.
Yeah.
How we can reach more people and be more engaging with more people, because like we said, we want to have opinions that are raw, that are real, that are completely unfiltered, and I want to get out to the world. I want to hear from people that can teach me something.
I think we keep the door open and the seat empty for anybody.
Sure. I mean, that's another thing. I want to know from you guys, what are some guests? I've got some guests in mind. I think it's gonna be exactly what we want. It's gonna be what were you expecting? Because there's gonna be days where it's gonna be political. It's gonna be magical. It's gonna be make believe. It's gonna be all kinds of different guests and I want to start soon on some guests.
We're going to talk about real life stuff. I mean, we're going to talk about aliens.
Which are real now.
They're real.
And we all knew it 30 years ago, but
don't get me on this, dude.
Now we're just going to talk about it.
I want aliens to be real so bad.
They're real.
I think
they're real.
I don't know.
Here's my thing. Here's my stance on it. And Johnny, this is actually one that you're probably going to steal the mic for, but you can tell me what you think. But my whole prowess on aliens is. So we're the only life on one planet in just one galaxy where there's millions of galaxies. God just chose one tiny little rock.
Look,
I feel like there could be people just like us. Not this like green little goopy alien. I think there's more people that look just like me on another.
This is the only thing that throws me off of that is he created a heaven and an earth. That's what throws me. That's my one hiccup. He created a heaven and an earth, but he didn't specify. And when I say aliens,
he created a heaven and an earth here, and then a heaven and an earth here.
Green little men, flying spaceship. I'm just talking about that. I believe that there's other life that is more intelligent than we are out there somewhere. That it's just crazy to think about how far away stars are and like how huge the galaxy is.
Right.
Like it just for us to be the only life, it's almost not even fathomable.
Right. I mean, at that point, like, what do you classify as an alien?
What do you think,
could it be a bug?
Anything that's not from this.
Not
planet.
From here.
That's what I would think. Anything not from this.
Even
planet.
A bacteria.
Well, here's this question: did God have another son that He sent to that world to take their sins?
Or what if that son went to that world too?
Well, this is the thing, though. God. He's not subject to time and matter, right?
He's omnipresent.
He's outside of this world. Mm-hmm. So what we think is our galaxy, he's looking down on it, right? So he it's so weird to talk about like that, but as much as, and heck, we're over here just assuming everyone believes the same way we believe, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, my
think
whole
there's-
thing is like,
I just don't think that we're the only life.
I'm so believing of the fact that like there's so many things that are revealed to us in perfect timing, because if we knew it too soon, it would blow our freaking
But
mind.
then on the same hand,
So then what if he's got 50,000 different Earths and the Holy Trinity was him, the Holy Spirit, and 50,000 sons, but that we can't process that.
yeah,
I can't tell you that because you will blow your mind.
yeah.
I could be completely wrong, and I'm not saying that that's how I believe. I'm just saying like I could see how there could be, you know, done some miraculous things in my life that I didn't think were possible. So
I don't know. But this is the one thing the other thing that kind of makes me go back into like, no way. All these video footage. This is the thing. There's phones. There's Ring doorbell cameras. There's street cameras everywhere.
it's like Bigfoot.
Everywhere.
Somebody's
Right?
should have found him already.
Right? There's cameras.
There's so many.
everywhere.
You find him on a
You
satellite.
can't walk
It's
your
over.
dog, and this is a big thing in my neighborhood because people are going crazy right now. But you can't walk your dog and let it poop somewhere without someone getting it on camera.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't get a clear video of an alien.
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
makes me. There's so many, but I'm
Jack Whitehall.
I'm biased because I want them to be real.
Jack Whitehall literally smoked a joint one time when he wasn't supposed to and got caught on Google Maps while it was driving by. You can look it up. And nobody has gotten a picture of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
A satellite never picked up a UFO.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what makes me feel like every time that there's a footage that comes out or released over the history of aliens, it's been blurry, it's been dark, it's been don't know what it is.
Debatable as heck.
Yeah, every time. You know why? Because it's probably not real. But
Manufactured.
I want it to be real
Yeah,
so
I
bad.
mean, either way, it doesn't really change anything.
It doesn't.
It's just kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah.
And it's, who knows? Could be, maybe not. I personally kind of lean on the side. I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it. But either way, it's not going to change my
Right.
beliefs,
Mm-mm.
anything like that. So,
Yeah.
but it's not something I give too much thought to either.
Yeah.
But I'm open to the possibility.
That's
you know, you never know.
that's
You
a
never
really
know.
good thing to say because I don't either. I don't really think about it too much, but
I do.
aliens.
I love it.
But the alien topic is literally just like masks, just like vaccines, just like COVID. Everybody's got an opinion.
It just intrigues me, I think, because I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I'll never have the answer to. I mean, unless I get probed. At that point, no one's gonna believe me. So
You'll have the answer one day.
that's true. Hopefully,
We'll have all the answers one day.
hopefully,
Yeah, I hope.
unless he just withholds it.
Yeah, he might be just like, I'm going to tell you everything, but not that. Like, what are there aliens?
Come on, man.
Please, God, that's why I'm here.
I feel like he's never going to give me a couple of the questions that I want to ask him, like, why did you make mosquitoes? Why was Hillary Clinton here?
Everything has a yeah.
Like,
Gosh.
I feel like he's just going to be like, go over there and play with your blocks.
And you would be like, oh, this is amazing. This is the greatest thing on the planet. Or in the heavens.
He better not make me do plumbing anymore.
No.
I can't.
No.
I don't think I can do plumbing for eternity.
No.
It'd be a lot better than the alternative.
Unless I was doing plumbing there, too.
Really hot.
Always backed up.
Sweating.
Yeah.
At
Well,
least
at least I wouldn't have to torch it. I just have to...
Hey, at least in heaven you have some air conditioning. All right? Because I would not want to be plumbing in hell.
Golly.
So,
Well,
yeah. So what are we looking at on time?
Close to an hour.
Yeah, close to an
Cool.
hour. I think that's probably good. Most people are probably tuned out from our stupidity at this
And I'm
point.
glad Johnny piped in a little bit. We're gonna
Yeah.
Johnny's our tech sound guru, but he's also gonna be weighing in often.
I think I need a mic, but apparently I do.
Yeah, Johnny's gonna need a mic.
Yeah.
He thought he was just gonna be a sound and tech guy, but no, he's got way too much input that I think other people need to hear too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So by the time you hear this one, it should be October 1st. That's the date that we're aiming for. So if it's not, I apologize. But today should be October 1st or after for you to hear it. Like I said, we're gonna try to get some things going on social media. We do not currently have the What Were You Expecting social media
No.
pages up, but we do. So we're gonna.
we just don't want to launch before
We're-
a teaser. We want to have a
Right,
really cool
yeah.
teaser video.
Yeah.
And then launch.
So you go follow me on TikTok at Nate Bearden, Instagram at Nate_Bearden. If you follow me on Facebook, I'm very selective, so don't get your feelings hurt. But you should be easily to find me. Where can I find you?
Well, I would tell you my handles, but my phone's over there being videoed or videoing us. But I don't know my handles. I'm on Instagram, TikTok. Johnny can pull them up. I don't even know. I don't let people know about them, to be honest with you.
Mine's just super easy to remember. Nate.
Yeah. Well, and Nate's got actually a TikTok following, so it has a purpose. Mine is just
tens of followers.
he has a lot.
Tens of followers.
No, I don't have. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. Which it may be gone. I'm deleting it, so we may not. But it's Austin Blake Music, and music with a Z. And then I'm on TikTok too. You can just type in my name and find me on TikTok. But yeah, that's it. And then I'm on Facebook, which I'm like Nate. I'm not going to probably accept you unless I know you. And even if I know you,
they only let you
still not
select a
accept
few.
you.
So why not select? Why not? Why select anybody?
Yeah.
We'll just leave that neutral.
So,
but
what were you expecting?
what were you expecting?
That's the name.
I mean, we covered what? COVID.
A lot of topics. But I think that was.
What was it? The self-determination or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
your drive to Daytona. We covered.
But I think
politics.
We showed a good variety of stuff. What we're going to be
Aliens.
talking about, and
What were you
I
expecting?
think it's going to be good. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So
Maybe eventually we'll get to where we can actually have like live.
that would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
And just air it live while we record it, and then put it.
I think that's an
That's down
ultimate
the
goal
line,
for sure. Yeah, I want to make sure with how long it took us to go from the first crappy episode to the first decent episode.
Yeah. But as this grows,
We needed to get some backlogged dates coming so that nobody's going, why won't these guys talk about aliens anymore?
Yeah. As this grows, we'll obviously have a little more time to contribute to it, and because this is the thing, you own a business, I own a business. Johnny's got just starting a new full-time job, and this is something that we do in our free time for free. Yeah. And actually not for free. It's actually costing money to do this.
Yeah, it's gonna cost money. So if you're a sponsor at all and you want to sponsor the podcast, reach out to us. We'd love to take a look at it, and that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then if you want to be a guest on our podcast, reach out to us. I mean, like I said, we're
taking applications.
Honestly, we are going to be selective, but we can't just let anybody come on here at any point in time. We don't have the capability for that many people. But, if you have, an awesome testimony or you have an awesome opinion on some of the things that we've already talked about, and you want to dive deeper into that, shoot, man, send us a message. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about that testimony. Give us a little bit of that opinion. And if it's something that we want to, really have a conversation with you about, we will get you on here. And I think it would be a good time. Mm-hmm. So.
Cool.
But yeah, I think we're good. Again, I'm Nate. So go follow us on social media, and
we'll see you next time.
That'll work.
Well, thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation and hope you join us again. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to support what we do here. Thank you.